Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome to the reset. As always, we are here to soothe the body, the nervous system, the mind. We're going to give a little extra love to our shoulders today. And for those of us live or doing this on a Monday, set the tone for the week ahead. So, this is your practice. Move at your own pace. Skip anything that doesn't feel good physically, intuitively. Invitation to freestyle the whole way through. So basically do whatever you want the entire session. And if you want to follow along, great. So take a moment to arrive. Do you need anything? Do you need water, light an incense, blanket? Get as comfortable as possible and give yourself permission to adjust throughout the whole practice. Your comfort is really, really the most important. So that above anything else. We do some stretching, we put some pressure, we want no pain, we want no strain. So if something is new or something is tender, work your way up. And I trust that you know your body. So if there's something that you're unsure of, if it works for you, message me. Maybe I'll encourage you to go see a specialist about it, but start gently and work your way up. So let's set the tone for today with one exercise for the vagus nerve. Super simple. We're just going to take our index finger, find this top groove of the ear, move to the very front of that groove, and begin to make some very gentle little circles. More thinking of moving the skin around rather than pushing. Just sending some sensory input to the nerve, letting the body know that we are safe. And circles in the other direction. We can begin to check in with the breath. Just notice where it's residing, how it's flowing. Whenever you feel ready, moving on to the other side. So index finger, top groove of the ear, coming to the very front of that groove. Very, very gentle little circles. You can also check in with the jaw. Is the jaw feeling relaxed? Did you wake up with any tension in the jaw? We're going to come show it love soon. Gentle circles in the other direction. Relaxing whenever you feel ready and just giving a couple moments for integration. So if it feels right to shut down the eyes, do so. Just taking a couple nice breaths, noticing any shifting, any sensation. Let's invite in our physiological side. There is a lot of science and research behind this breath that it lowers blood pressure, lowers heart rate. Really good tool to have in your toolkit. So this is a double inhale through the nose. Immediate slow exhale out of the mouth. Always moving at your own pace. Double inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Few more just like that. One more round. And coming back to the natural breath. As usual, let's start it off with one acupressure point, very top of the crown of the head, GV20, governing vessel 20. You can use direct pressure, you can massage in little circles, you can tap with your fingertips. This is a really nice point to come to if you've got a lot of thoughts going on, busy mind. Breathing in. If you are massaging little circles, see what happens if you relax your forehead and your face. Maybe those circles get a bit bigger. Relaxing the hand down whenever you feel ready. And let's show a little love to our hands. Exploding fists, tight fists, thumbs on the outside provide a little resistance. You're going to shoot your fingers out with as much energy as possible, 10 times at your own pace. Ready, set, go. Relaxing the arms down. Let's take one palm up. You're going to hold your palm with your own hand and extend the arm. And you're going to lift the arm to shoulder level, a little bit of resistance from the hand that is holding. Bring your arm across the body, head to the opposite side, and breathe into that stretch. So maybe you feel a stretch in your fingers, maybe it's your wrist, maybe it's your forearm. Wherever the stretch is showing up, think of sending your inhale there. Maybe a little bit more space shows up on the exhale. Basically, whenever we're stretching or putting pressure somewhere, I invite you to involve your breath in the movement and see how that affects it. See if it creates some more space. Coming back slow and steady, releasing the arm and switching sides. Palm up. Hold your own hand. Extend the arm. Lift to shoulder level. Arm across the body. Head to the opposite side and breathe into the stretch. Coming back slow and steady. Okay, so once again, we're going to hold our own hand. So palm up, holding your hand. This time you're going to bring the arm in towards your chest. Here we're looking at releasing some smaller muscles inside the shoulder. So hand comes into the chest and then fingers to the outside, and again, head to the opposite side. And breathe in here. Relax the jaw. It's a little difficult to relax the shoulders, but always making sure that we're not crunching them up. And then coming back and switching sides. So your palm is up. You're holding your own hand. You're bringing the arm in towards the chest. Fingers go to the outside and then head to the opposite side and twist in here a little bit. Coming back to center. A little bit more love to the hands. Let's interlace the fingers and just stretch out the palms of the hands. Maybe you're going to curve your spine and breathe into the upper casing of the body. You do a little gentle tilt side to side, really feeling into that scapula. And then coming back to center, whichever index finger is closer to you, switch them. And again, stretch out, see how that feels in your hands. Again, you can cave the spine and do a little tilt. Let's bring the arms up. Big morning stretch. Get into the wrists. And then cactus shape the arms, open up the chest. Think of bringing the elbows together. And release. Let's massage from wrist to pinky finger, pinky side of the hand, a number of different benefits through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine are thought to sometimes show up when we work here. So tinnitus issues, back pain, anxiety. If there's a really tender zone, give it a bit of extra attention. Moving on to the other side. Whenever you're ready, wrist to pinky finger, taking the thumb, massaging in. Make a fist with the hands facing in together and just get into those wrists a little bit more. So really moving from the wrists here, not the elbows, just the wrists, circles in one direction. Checking in with the breath. Circles in the other direction. Relaxing the hands down. Warming up our cranial nerves with our favorite cranial nerve release. Getting a hold of your earlobe, a good hold. You're going to pull down and out and a little bit up and breathe in here. If you have a good hold, stay there. If you slip and need to start over, we pull down and out and up. Relax the jaw. Open up the heart space. And switching sides whenever you're ready. Get a good hold of your earlobe. Pull down and out and a little bit up and breathe. Release whenever you feel ready. So I invite you to just take a moment here, shut down the eyes if that feels okay in your body. And set a little intention, thinking of if there is something in your mind, in your world, in your habits that you are ready to let go of. It can be something big, it can be something really small. Just take a moment to see if anything comes to the surface. And if it doesn't, maybe it will show up throughout the practice. But just setting an intention of something you are ready to release and let go of. Maybe I'll share mine at the end of the practice. I didn't want to influence anyone, but it's been very clear for me these last days. So we're going to connect to whatever you're ready to let go of and connect that to the breath. You're going to inhale the shoulders up towards the ear. On an exhale, drop the shoulders and release the breath. Release whatever you're ready to let go of with a big sigh. 2 more just like that. Inhaling up. Exhale, release and let go. 1 more. And then some nice circles with the shoulders, opening up the heart space. Okay. So again, shutting down the eyes if that feels safe. Let's just begin to observe the breath a little bit more intentionally. Just noticing, not trying to change anything. And then we're going to invite in the 4-7-8 breath. Again, another breath with a lot of research behind it. This is a really good one to have in your toolkit. If you're ever feeling overwhelmed, it's a good sleep tool. We're going to inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Don't strain anything, move at your own pace. Let's take 1 natural breath in and out. I'm going to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, however shows up for you. And then we are going to inhale for 4 seconds. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale all the way to the very, very top. Maybe take one more sip of air in. Big exhale and release. Coming back to the natural breath. Let's shift our awareness to our physical body, and we're just going to sense many different layers of ourselves. So bringing your awareness to your very center, your hara, and just thinking of the very middle of your body, right behind your navel. And then bringing your awareness to your visceral body, beginning to think of all of these internal organs working so hard to keep you healthy and do all their processes independently, connected. Love to the visceral body. And then bring your awareness to your skeletal system, all the many bones of the body providing structure. And then beginning to think of your muscular system, all of the many muscles, big and small, helping you move. And bringing your awareness to your nervous system, this beautiful, complex system, sending and receiving signals, looking out for you, protecting you. Remembering that sometimes some of the difficult things we feel, like anxiety and pain, are really the body looking to protect us. So, gratitude to our nervous system. And then bringing your awareness to the fluid body, the many fluids, this beautiful ocean, blood, lymphatic system pumping away, cerebral spinal fluid. And then bringing your awareness to your skin, enveloping everything. And seeing if you can tap into this electromagnetic field that expands beyond the physical body. And then what does it feel like to sense all of those layers at once? Bringing our awareness all the way up into the mind and just checking in. How is my mind feeling today? With no judgment and no expectation. Whenever it is a day that the mind is feeling busy, ruminating, caught up in thought, the breath can be a beautiful tool to bring us into the present moment. So let's do that here today. I invite you to place one or both hands over your heart space. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can keep them wherever you like. And we're just going to keep our mind with the breath by thinking to ourselves on the inhale, I breathe love into my heart. On the exhale, thinking, I send love out to all beings. Inhale, I breathe love into my heart. Exhale, I send love out to all beings. Continue at your own pace. other thoughts show up, release them and return love to my heart, love to all beings. And then releasing the mantra, but keeping the hands over the heart. If this feels good for you, I like to make a little bit of pressure against the chest and then just massage in some very gentle, loving circles, connecting to your beautiful heart. Maybe an audible sigh shows up on the exhale, as many of those show up in practice or in your day is very welcomed. Releasing the hands down. Maybe once again, just checking in with the breath. And then bring your awareness to your jaw. How is your jaw feeling today? Many people carry a lot of tension in the jaw, sometimes wake up with tension. These are good things to do once a day, every couple of days, and make sure our jaws are happy. So let's start by opening the mouth wide and stretching the jaw from side to side, just seeing what shows up. And then big circles in one direction with the jaw and the other direction. Let's take our knuckles and you're just going to massage over your masseter. Such an incredibly powerful muscle. Massaging down, showing it some love. Maybe it's tender. Maybe you isolate more with one knuckle. And then we're going to take our hands, rub the palms together to create some heat, and just tap all over the jaw, soothing overactive muscles and nerves and stimulating circulation. And we're going to take our thumbs to the very top of the jaw, feeling into these grooves. We're a little further in front of the ear, just feeling into that groove there, keeping some pressure and opening slow and steady with that pressure. This can be extremely tender, so start gently. Pressure with the thumbs, slow and steady as you open and close. Few rounds. Do not crunch up the shoulders. Mine were creeping up a little bit. And then gently release, taking your trusty finger pads, index and middle fingers, massaging over that area. And then massaging over the temples. And massaging the vertical part of the mandible, the back of the jaw. So sometimes jaw pain can be from the muscles, sometimes it can be the nerves, sometimes the joint. We're going to show some love to the joints and work on some mobilization for the jaw here. You're going to take your thumbs to both sides of the vertical part of the mandible. You're going to push forward with one thumb and have the jaw move to the opposite side. And then push forward with the other thumb and jaw moves to the other side. So what we want here is a nice fluid motion. If it's a bit sticky, that's okay. Keep coming back to it every couple of days, but we're working on the mobilization of the jaw. One thumb pushes forward, jaw to the opposite side. Other thumb forward, jaw to the other side. And then maybe one more massage back there. Let's make our way down into our neck, showing our neck some love today. Let's start with this PNF technique, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. If there's a day you're moving your head in one direction and tension shows up or less range of motion, maybe this will be able to help you. So we're going to start by experimenting. We're going to check in with our axis of the body and then start to turn the head side to side and just see what shows up. Maybe one area has less range of motion, has some tension, and then coming back to center and tilting side to side. Ooh, the last weeks, it's always been the same for me. So tilting side to side, and then you can do the same thing, front to back, chin to chest, lift the head. So wherever there is some tension showing up, less range of motion, if, for example, your tension is here, you're going to take your hand beside the head and put equal pressure from the head and the hand as though you were turning your head in the opposite direction. If your tension shows up here, you're going to take your hand and push equal pressure as though you were tilting your head in the opposite direction. Same front and back. So my tension and less range of motion is here. This is my limit. So I'm going to take my hand and push as though I was tilting to the opposite side. 10 seconds pushing in. You want to create some force there. Here we're tiring out the muscles and relaxing the nerves. Keep the jaw relaxed and breathe in. Two more breaths here. On your next exhale, release very gently as though you're letting go of a few grams of pressure at a time. Wait for a moment, take a nice deep breath in between. And then again, try to decide that you had less range of motion or more tension and see if you have a little bit of more space that shows up. Let's get into our sternocleidoid mastoid, massaging down either side of the muscle. If you're unsure where it's located, bone behind your ear is your mastoid process. That will lead you directly into your SCM. So massaging down either side. And then we're going to work on mobilizing the muscle. So coming down just above the clavicle, and if you are able to, grabbing the muscle, get a good hold of the muscle. I like to use both hands, and you're going to pull away from the body a little back and forth, and then walk up doing just that. If this is new and it feels sticky or difficult, it gets easier over time, but also some people's sternocleidoid mastoids protrude more than others. So if it's really difficult and feels impossible to hold, you can just keep massaging or just kind of push back and forth. Otherwise, you're going to get a hold of the muscle, pull away a little back and forth, and walk up. The upper part can often be extra tender, so just give love wherever it needs it. Can involve the head a little bit. And then massaging down, maybe as you massage down, you tilt your head to the opposite direction. And then coming to the other side, locating your SCM, massaging down. And then we're going to walk up and mobilize the muscle. So lower part of the neck, grabbing hold of your SCM, pulling away a little back and forth a couple times, and then walking up, doing just that. Grab the muscle away from the neck, back and forth, maybe involve the head a little bit. Maybe hanging out a little longer in a tender zone. If tenderness shows up, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And then stay anywhere as long as you need to. Whenever you're ready, massaging down. And again, maybe as you massage down, tilting the head in the opposite direction. I'm not sure I'll ever do a session without this other cranial nerve upper trap release. It just always feels so good for me here. So finger pads coming to the very top of your upper trap. Feel into the muscle wherever you can get the most muscle. You're going to pull down into your upper trap. Keep that pressure down as you then push out. Palm of the hand to the jaw. Twist the opposite direction and breathe. Whenever you release, release gently. Little massage into the upper trap. Maybe more than a little. And then we'll move on to the other side. Finger pads into the very top of your upper trap. Pull down into the muscle. Keep that pressure down and then push out. Palm of the hand to the jaw and twist. Release whenever you're ready, slow and steady, a bit of an upper trap massage. And let's show the front of the neck some love. So start on this side, hand over the clavicle, deep connection, keeping both the skin and muscle connected there. Start with your head straight, good pressure with the hand, good contact, and then lean the head back and away. We're working here with the superficial fascia, which don't let the name mislead you. It is very important. Breathing in. Maybe you take your second hand on top as well. Always mindful when we're working with the neck. Coming back slow and steady and moving to the other side. Hand over the clavicle, firm connection, head starts straight and then tilts back and away. Breathe in here. Maybe bringing in the second hand. Coming up slow and steady. And then we're going to add to this a little bit. So you're going to take both hands. Mine are a little lower than they would be because of the microphone. So you can kind of come just under the clavicles. You're going to hold this skin and do the same thing, but just lifting up. And then you can also push your jaw up and get an even nicer stretch. So pull the skin down a little bit, some nice pressure, pull the skin down, lift the chin, and then you can even push up the jaw. Calming down whenever you're ready. Gosh, I needed this. All right. let's do our nice rhomboid stretch. We're gonna take one arm across the chest, forearm to forearm, feeling into the posterior deltoids, getting into the scapulas a bit, just breathing in here. And you can move the position of your other forearm and see how that changes the stretch. Relax the jaw. Move into the other side whenever you're ready. I always like to bring my arms back and then switch to the other side. Maybe again, just remembering what it is that you want to let go of and release, what you've been holding on to that you're ready to say goodbye to. Whatever showed up for you. And coming back. Let's bring the arms to the shoulders, just a little bit of shoulder mobility. So big circles, bringing the elbows as close as they want to the head as you move up, opening up heart space. Sorry if the mic is making annoying noises. And then a little bit of love to our kidneys. Fists with the hands. You're going to tap just below your ribs. Breathing in here. Our kidneys work so hard for us. Sending them gratitude. And then maybe pushing in and massaging in circles. And then taking the fists and just massaging all over the lower back and as high up as you can comfortably get. And once again, just finding our most comfortable position. Maybe having a sip of tea. Okay, once more checking in with the breath. And then we're going to use our breath to stimulate our vagus nerve. So we're going to welcome in the VU breath today. We're going to inhale through the nose and then exhale with a VU, emulating the sound of a foghorn. VU. Always moving at your own pace. Inhale through your nose, exhale with a VU. 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 2 more. VU. VU. Coming back to the natural breath. So VUing helps to stimulate the vagus nerve. We're going to continue to show the vagus nerve love by working indirectly and directly on the vagal branch. So we are going to take our index finger behind the ear, other 3 fingers in front, and you're going to begin to just very loosely rub up and down. And then you're going to hold with some pressure. So index in front, index behind, other fingers in front. Keeps that pressure while you move up and down. And then keep that pressure making circles one direction. If you yawn, make it a big one. That often happens when we're working on the vagal branch or on the vagal nerve. Gentle circles in the other direction. Releasing whenever you're ready and moving to the other side. Index finger behind the ear, other 3 fingers in front. Begin to very loosely move up and down. And then hold with pressure. Keep that pressure, move up and down. And then keep that pressure and make circles in one direction. And circles in the other direction. Relax the hands down, shut down the eyes, and this is where the magic happens, allowing the body to receive and integrate those messages. We're really just communicating with the vagus nerve, letting the body know that we are safe and able to relax. Okay, let's take our little pincher fingers, our thumb and index, and come to the earlobe. And then you're just going to walk your way up the outer edge of the ear, massaging, kneading, making little circles. And once you reach the very top, you're going to think of rolling the edge of your ear out as you make your way back down. Maybe some stretching gets involved. Moving on to the other side, pinch your fingers starting at your earlobe, massaging, pulling, kneading, walking your way up the ear. And at the very top, thinking of rolling outwards, walking back down. Relaxing the arms, shutting down the eyes, 2 deep breaths here, noticing sensations. Let's inhale through the nose and exhale with an audible sigh. Let it go. All right, let's show a little bit of love to our arms. Let's massage from elbow to wrist. However makes sense for you. If you feel like squeezing and rolling outwards, maybe you're pulling muscle away from bone. Maybe you're getting in between the bones with your thumb into the interosseous membrane. Experiment around, see what your arm needs. I like to hold around the wrist and just twist and then massage into the palm of the hand. Maybe some extra love to the thumb pad. And then starting with the thumb, massaging each finger. We want to keep all of our joints happy forever. Moving on to the other side whenever you're ready. Elbow to wrist, experiment around. Hold the wrist, circles. Massaging into the palm of the hand. And then starting with the thumb, massaging each finger. Okay, Let's move into a little bit of acupressure. We'll stick with our hands here. So here you're going to take your thumb and you're going to come to the webbing between your thumb and index finger. If you are pregnant, skip this one and you can come to GV26, above the lip, below the nose, right in the center, good for focus, memory, concentration. If you're not pregnant, let's come to large intestine 4. So again, thumb goes in between the webbing of the other thumb and index, and you're going to push in here a little bit closer. Push in here and breathe. This is a super powerful, very popular acupressure point. This is a great one to come to if you have a headache, good for digestive issues. There's so many benefits that can come from large intestine 4. So as you're here checking in, can you relax your jaw a bit more? Can you relax the shoulders? As always, acupressure, it can be direct pressure, it can be little circles. I've been instructed we're looking for a happy pain. That can be different for everyone. If a tenderness shows up, that can indicate a blockage on that meridian. So come back every day, every couple of days, and see if it changes. We can do acupressure every day. One more deep breath here. And then you can just massage down the webbing and come to the other side. So thumb goes in between the webbing of the thumb and index of the other hand, and just push in here and breathe. Releasing on the next exhale, and we're going to come to CV17. So base of your sternum bone, base of your chest bone, measuring up 4 finger widths, and then pushing in the thumb with the thumb right in the center. So bottom of the sternum, come to the bottom of that bone, measure up 4 finger widths, pushing in with the thumb. You can move around a little bit, see if a tender zone shows up. You could take your other hand for a bit more pressure and breathe in here. Conception vessel 17, center of the yogic heart space. My go-to acupressure point if I'm feeling overwhelmed or anxious. And again, another nice sleep tool. Direct pressure, little circles, whatever feels right. Relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. On your next exhale, gently releasing, and then we're going to come just below the sternum. So we were just above the bone. Now we're going to come just below, and you're going to massage in all directions, back and forth, up and down, diagonals. We're here at our celiac plexus. This is a powerhouse for blood flow, for lymphatic flow. Fascia here can get tight. So just under the sternum bone, all directions. Don't forget the diagonals. And then moving a few finger widths below. Now we're just above the navel. Same thing, all directions. Super mesenteric ganglia, showing this area some love, freeing things up. And then maybe we, as we did with the heart space, placing 1 or 2 hands on the belly, a little bit of pressure, and some nice loving circles. All right, gonna come all the way down to our feet. Gotta work on my angles here. second. And then again, we are going to think of our intention of letting go. We're going to come to liver 3. So you are going to come between the first and second metatarsals, this groove in between your big toe and second toe, and you're going to begin to just massage down that groove. If there's any tension, stagnation, already thinking of releasing. And then you're going to take whichever finger, I use my thumb in the end, but feeling up this groove between the big toe and second toe. And then you'll notice at the top of the groove where the bones meet, and you're going to push in front of there. So you're going to stay at the top of the groove, feeling up between the big toe and second toe, up that groove, and pushing at the top of the groove. I use my thumb. Sometimes I use both thumbs. We are here at liver 3. So the negative emotion of the liver is anger. And this is a place, if you're holding on to anger, if you're holding on to just some sticky, stagnant energy, this is a good place to come to and release. Also a good place to check in on the position of your body. It's easy to cave in on yourself here, but try to sit up straight and lean in with your body weight. Liver 3, breathe in here, thinking of your intention, let it go. What are you ready to release? One more deep breath here. And then again, massaging down that groove, maybe massaging down between all of the metatarsals. Release, release. And coming to the other side. So again, between the first and second metatarsals, massaging down the groove between the big toe and the second toe. And then you're going to feel up that groove and push in at the top of the groove before where the bones connect. Liver 3. Breathe in here. Check in with your body position. Posture was the word I was searching for. Again, direct pressure, maybe little circles. Anything you're holding on to that you're ready to release, let it go. On your next exhale, release, massage down once more. And let's just show a little bit of love to our feet. So massaging down the arches of the foot. If there's tender zones, hang out there for a little bit. And then coming to whichever foot is calling first, massaging down each toe. Spleen, liver, stomach, gallbladder, bladder, saying hi to all 5 of those meridians. And then massaging into the sole of the foot and the ball of the foot and the heel. Again, can use your body weight, lean in. Sustainability is what we want as we care for ourselves. We want to be caring for ourselves in all the ways. And then invitation to follow or freestyle, grabbing the foot, twisting back and forth, clamping down on the foot and squeezing towards the toes, holding the foot, grabbing the toes, circles in one direction and the other direction. More love for the joints, holding the ankle, big circles one direction. Again, check in on your posture, circles the other direction. Point the toes, stretch out the top of the foot, Flex, fist with the hand, knocking all over. And moving to the other side. Massaging down each toe, checking in with each meridian, massaging into the sole and the ball and the heel of the foot, using our body weight, moving with the breath. And then twisting or freestyling, clamping down, squeezing towards the toes, holding the foot, grabbing the toes, circles in one direction and the other direction. Holding the ankle, big circles with the whole foot. Other direction. Point the toes, stretch the top of the foot. Flex, fist with the opposite hand, knocking all over. Let's keep those fists going. We're going to knock all the way up the inside and the outside of the legs. Good for circulation, lymphatic flow. Get that chi moving outside of the legs too. And then once again, coming back to our most comfortable position. Let's bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart space. And whatever thought showed up, what you're ready to release, maybe holding that with you today through this week, gently and lovingly inviting that to let go. As we sit here, I invite you to express to yourself something you are feeling grateful for in this moment. Again, whatever shows up for you, no matter how big or small. Deep inhale through the nose, big sigh on the exhale. Thank you guys so much for resetting with me. So grateful for your presence. Hope to see you real soon.